Dzogchen Today podcast. Welcome to Dzogchen Today's podcast. This series of What is Dzogchen dives into the foundation of Dzogchen and presents the richness of its tradition, its history, lineage, past, fruition, and much more.
Hello, welcome to Dzogchen Today podcast. Here we are in the series of What is Dzogchen? And I'm Grégoire, your host, with the French accent. Grégoire, nice to meet you. And we are in company of Mila Khyentse Rinpoche.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you, and happy to be here with you.
Great, thanks. And Nils Derboule.
Yes, it's me.
How are you doing?
Great, thank you. And you?
Fine, thanks. So, in very good ambience, we'll start a new series of 3 episodes about precisely the series in Dzogchen, the 3 series. De Sum in Tibetan. Maybe we'll use a few Tibetan words in this podcast. And we'll start with the first series, which is called Semdé in Tibetan, which is the series of the mind. We'll maybe give more precision about what type of mind we are talking about. And before that, we will start by presenting people who are with me on this podcast today. Mila Khyentse Rinpoche, you're a trained scholar. You have been formed or trained in the Himalaya and in Europe. You're a lineage holder. You're practicing, transmitting Dzogchen, and you are the founder, initiator of the Dzogchen project, Dzogchen Today project.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And Nils Derboule, you're a global engineer, a project manager, and you have been studying and practicing Dzogchen since several years now. And you're integrating the practice of Dzogchen in different projects related to Dzogchen and in your daily life activity, including your job.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yes, absolutely.
Great. Nice to have you here.
Nice to be here.
To start with the 3 series, maybe I can ask you, Rinpoche, first, what are the specific or distinctive characteristics of the 3 series, maybe?
So first of all, Dzogchen, or Great Perfection, was introduced in the so-called Dzogchen / Tibetan Buddhism tradition, the Nyingmapa tradition by Vajra, Garab Dorje, which was the first human master, we say, of the Great Perfection. And he transmitted their lineage of teachings, all his teachings, which sum up to 6,400,000 teachings.
Only that.
Only that's it. All these teachings were synthesized, summed up in just 3 main teachings, which are called the 3 Aphorisms, Dzogchen in Tibetan. And these 3 aphorisms, which are in Tibetan Ngorang Tok Tuk Che, meet in the instant your primordial nature. Then the second aphorism, which is Takchik Tok Tu Che, be definitely sure of that point, meaning your primordial nature. And then the third, which is Danger Tok Tu Cha, which is really just stay. Just be at ease, directly assured of your own liberation. So these 3 define the 3 series. Vajra, Garab Dorje, the first human master, had his main disciple, which was called Manjo Shri Mitra, who divided all his amazing teachings, many teachings in these 3 series. Because these 3 aphorisms from Garab Dorje correspond to his last testament, which is testimony, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah, I think so. and so it constitutes the main teaching from Garab Dorje. And Manjushri Mitra just divided his main teachings into these 3 series. So the first series, we say, is the introduction to the Great Perfection, so the introduction to the primordial nature. The second is the main practice, which is maintaining the emptiness nature of the Great Perfection all the time. And then the third one is the fruit, is the result we obtain, which is without any doubt remaining being all the time in the Great Perfection in life and death. And this is the point of the 3 series.
That's a whole program.
It is.
Yeah. So on this podcast, it will be only like an introduction.
Yeah, so a really general
really
introduction.
just a few information about that. Does exist an academy that will be launched maybe in English? In
the Dzogchen Today Academy.
Maybe later on.
Yeah.
And maybe we'll make more podcasts about this series. So no problem if it's a bit complex or not really understandable. Just relax.
Tricky.
It's only a few information about that, and we'll dive into it deeper in the next episode for sure. And so, Nils, maybe you can tell us a bit more about this division about the 3 series, because it has been said that Garab Dorje and Manjushri Mitra were like the first human beings, like being like spreading maybe or sharing or transmitting the Dzogchen teaching to on the human realm. Can you tell us more about that and why it has been so? And was maybe the relationship between the 3 aphorisms and the 3 series?
Yeah. Actually, yeah. When Garab Dorje transmitted his core teachings, Dzogchen teachings to Manjushri Mitra, it was just after his death, and he gave him this testimony. So
in a precious casket.
In a precious casket, actually. Yeah, we can. Yeah, we could discuss about how it happened and the whole stories, but it's not the place maybe here. But so there is a 3 aphorism, and the 3 aphorism they sum up all the 6,400,000 aphorism of the Dzogchen teachings. So, and he did it because he received the testimony, so the 3 series, and he did it because it was necessary to be able to transmit it again, to keep going with this transmission to the other human, to the for the humanity, we can say, or at least to be able to transmit it, and because this transmission is very straight, very direct, and he needed to explain it, to expand it, actually.
We say the first transmission, which is the transmission of the Vidyadhara, is the pure unelaborate transmission, which means that you cannot recognize anything. And only when your mind is purified enough that you can recognize directly the symbol of the Great Perfection. But nothing can lead you to an understanding. So this is why, exactly as you said, Manjushri Mitra just elaborate on these 3 aphorisms. And so the first aphorism, so it corresponds to the first series. And this first series actually is dedicated to the view of Dzogchen, of the Great Perfection.
The Semdé, the first
Semdé, absolutely. And so he gave us the possibility to recognize our nature through this first series, we can say. So that's why he divided the teachings into these 3 series to make it possible for us to practice and to realize.
More and more complex. So it comes from the most unelaborated, mind-to-mind direct transmission, and then through symbol, and then through words.
Exactly, and then to explanation, and so on And that's why there are a lot of, and we are going to talk about that, but a lot of different tantras, so texts of the Great Perfection for the Semdé, longdé, ngag.
Until today.
Until today, yeah.
Great, excellent. And Mila, Khyentse, Rinpoche, so maybe we can give some more precision about the Semdé series. So Nils just talk about different texts. So I don't know if texts are really important. Maybe we can talk about that if there is one main text or something that is a bit summarizing the Dzogchen Semdé view.
Yeah.
And maybe there are some specific specificities about this Semdé view.
Sure, because we say each series has its own view, even if it's the same at the base. The view differs a bit in terms of the path we follow. So the Semdé is the main view of the Great Perfection. It's the basic view. And this view comes from the root Tantra. There is 18 main Tantra in the Dzogchen Semdé in this series. And the root Tantra of them all is called the Kunjé Gyälpo, the king creating everything.
All-creating king.
The all-creating king, the all-originating king.
Yeah, we read this translation.
And it has been translated partly under the title Supreme Source.
Yes.
People who like to check that.
Yeah. And also there will be more translations after in the future. Yeah. But this root Tantra is the main source for the view in the Semdé. And this view in the Semdé explains that the real nature of the mind is Jiangchu Sem. Which is the name of the series Semdé, Jiangchu Sem. Sem is the same term in Tibetan, and this Sem is the mind, but not everything in the mind. It's the pure and perfect mind, which is Jiangchu Sem. So in this way, the Kunjé Gyälpo determined that there is 10 things to do not do to just define the real access to this pure and perfect mind. So it's called the 10 misses, the 10 absences. And this is really important because this view is compared to the Buddhist tantric view, and this we will talk about that in later podcasts maybe. And this is why there is these 10 absences, because it's a direct link to what was known at that time, which was the main vehicle in this region. In the eastern part of the world, and this was the tantric view. So these 10 absences just determine that there is two things, and this is the main view in the Semdé, in the mind series, determine that there is an ordinary mind, which is called Sem, and there is a pure and perfect mind, which is Jiangchu Sem. And so the view in the Semdé determines what is the path leading from Sem to Jiangchu Sem.
Very clear, thanks. And so we talked about the view, but okay, I think it's not really intellectual. I would say it's not like a theoretical perspective. So it's linked to some direct, practical, so-called implication, which we call sometimes meditation or contemplation. Maybe there are some practices that are related to that view.
But I have to stop you just because Semdé is a really intellectual path, which leads to non-intellectual practices.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And so can we still talk about practice, Nils? Can you talk about that related to Semdé?
Sure. There are four main practices. We say Neljo in Tibetan. It means yoga in Sanskrit. So yogas mean mind training, kind of mind training here. And so there are four basics yogas for the Semdé. The first one is Nepa. That's a mental state, but a calm one. So, and it corresponds to Shine. So Shine in Tibetan, and it means shamatha in Sanskrit. So Nepa is this calm state.
Peaceful.
Peaceful state of mind, and it is very necessary because it's in this state there is no more disturbing emotions, and so we need this state to come to the second nature, the second yoga, the second training, that is Laktong. It means vipassana. It means vipassana in Sanskrit. So that's and this I don't know how to say it in English. Vipassana, but like
the superior vision.
Superior vision.
Direct vision.
Wider vision.
Not wider, not in this.
Superior vision.
Yes.
And
profound vision, because it's the vision of emptiness.
Mm-hmm. And so first Nepa, the first one. Second yoga, Laktong. But in Dzogchen Semdé we say Miyoa, Miyoa rather than Laktong, to differentiate it from the other yogas we can find in Buddhism, like in Mahamudra, for example. And so the third one is Nime or Niamni. It means the union of the two previous one. So
we say
union.
Yerme in Tibetan.
Yerme.
Mm-hmm.
And
no difference.
No difference. So no difference between Nepa and Miyoa.
Mm-hmm. The union of two.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so the last one, the resultant one, we can say, for the Semdé practice is Lundrup. It means Lundrup. It's spontaneously accomplished. So it's and so that's the result of the practice of Semdé, and the result of the practice of Semdé is the direct introduction to the nature of mind, to your own nature.
Excellent, thank you for that. And so maybe just Rinpoche, before finishing and going to the last question, maybe you can clarify a bit. So you say like it's really intellectual, and then Nils talk about the practice. What's the relationship between both?
The relationship is that when you practice, for example, Nepa, at the end of the practice, you will draw a conclusion of your practice. It means that mentally you will recognize what is a calm state of mind, what is not a calm state of mind, and then you will draw a really specific line which differentiates the path with mental concepts, mental projections, and the path without, which is really important because there is the beginning in the great perfection practice. In some of the practices, in some of the lineage, we talk about Korderushen. Korderushen is to separate, in a really traditional way, samsara from nirvana. So it's exactly the same. We do that through the practice of the 4 yoga, and we recognize what is a conceptual reality, which is illusory in terms of Dzogchen view, and what is not a conceptual reality, which is a direct view. And this direct view, it's you are reaching it through a gradual path of mental understanding. Mm-hmm. And the more you understand, the more you can practice directly to reach that state of Lundrup in the Semdé, which is the introduction of the primordial nature of your own mind. So this is the progression, and it's really different in the longdé and in the ngag because we did that in Semdé. But if we do not start like this, we cannot go from our ordinary state to our primordial state. So for the people who just want to sit down and practice without any knowledge, it's not possible. In the great perfection, knowledge is the base. It's really the basic, the main basics of the path, of all the paths. So you need to have a really balanced practice between the mental understanding and the direct understanding of your practice.
Thank you. Excellent. Thank you for the clarification. And just to finish, maybe, so you said it's a gradual path. So there are the 4 yogas. but how can we start? Maybe how can we apply first?
Finding a master, finding an authentic master. In the Dzogchen tradition, authentic means that he or she received correct instructions, put them into practice, reached a state which is described in the text, and then can transmit everything, all the instructions for her or his disciples.
Maybe with the authorization of his or her master.
Sure.
So it's described, the state and the realization are described in the text, but they need to be validated by the masters of the lineage.
And this is the principle of the lineage. The previous master give the instructions, validate the next holder of the teachings, and so on and so on.
Okay, perfect. And I know you already talked about that in previous episode, but I think maybe we need to do some episode about transmission and the master more. In the future.
Maybe why not? It's a good idea.
Very necessary. Actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nowadays, yes.
Quite necessary.
Okay. Thank you. Very nice.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for listening to us, and maybe we'll come back for another episode about longdé.
We need to talk about two theories.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
You can find more episodes on your website dzogchentoday.org. If you enjoyed this episode, please rate and review us on your favorite podcast app and share it with your friends. We will be pleased to receive your feedbacks on podcast@dzogchentoday.org.